Hi, I'm Kristen Fenty.
And I'm Siobhan Esposito, and we're Gold Star Wives.
And we're two widows walking tall. We've come to Congress this week to right an unjust treatment of surviving families of the military.
And we are here on Capitol Hill to get H.R. 178 and S-260 passed.
Specifically, the problem that we're trying to correct is the elimination, to eliminate the dollar-for-dollar offset of the survivor benefit plan by the VA dependency and indemnity. Yeah.
This is a mom.
So confusing.
Okay.
The DIC, the Dependency and Indemnity Compensation Act, which is a death benefit through the Veterans Affairs Department.
There are two different benefits. The first benefit, the survivor benefit plan, is paid by the Department of Defense.
And it's an earned benefit.
It's an earned benefit for our service members' service and death in service. It is essentially a portion of what our service members would have been receiving in retirement, a portion of it, had they lived to collect the retirement.
And today we met with the Speaker of the House, John Boehner. I cornered him, and we asked for his leadership on this issue. We believe it's a bipartisan issue, and it's something that he should support.
And how did that go?
How did it go, Kristen?
Well, I think he was moved and cared about the issue. He certainly wasn't compelled to commit to offering leadership on it. So that's why we're looking to the American people, to our friends, to our military community.
To contact their congressmen, congresswomen, and senators and let them know that they need to right this injustice for the surviving military families.
Who does this affect?
This affects children like Lauren, who is subject to a millionaire's tax, alternative minimum tax of 26%. Because Kristen elected to put the survivor benefit plan annuity in her daughter's name, and by doing so, they tax it at a much higher rate.
Some might ask why I would elect to put a benefit that should be intended for me for the rest of my life in my daughter's name, but my hands were tied. Had I kept the benefit in my name, it would have been offset dollar for dollar by the veterans' dependency and indemnity compensation that was for my husband's death. In order to secure that SBP payment, I put in my daughter's name, knowing that I would not receive it for the rest of my life. However, I did think that I would receive it. Never did I imagine that she'd be subject to the AMT tax and that I'd be paying exorbitant taxes each year. My husband was a lieutenant colonel who was in his 20th year of service when he died. We're entitled to $36,000 a year as our portion of what his retirement would have been for his service and death in service. And out of that $36,000 per year over the past 5 years, I've paid a total of $60,000 in taxes. It's unjust, it's unpatriotic, and it needs to be corrected.
So what can people do to help out?
Well, they need to contact their representative and senators and let them know that they need to pass H.R. 178 and S-260. It has been stalled for way too long, and it's time to do right by the families that have paid
the ultimate sacrifice. We are two widows walking tall. We represent thousands of widows from the wars across the country. However, we can't do it alone. We need this nation to carry part of this burden, to raise their voices, and to change this unjust legislation.